And we're live.
Excellent. How's everybody feeling? We all warmed up? Because I'm ready to get into
yeah.
this like now.
Recording in progress.
Hey, recording in progress.
Let's do it.
Let's do it. All right. If that is the case, then I would like to welcome everybody else out there in Twitch streaming land to another exciting episode of As the Sixth World Turns, Operation Sundiver. Here we are. We are in session 2, I guess. Yeah, this would be episode 2 of our famous show. Hang on, let me get my camera to stop being stupid for me for a minute. Hold, please. Technical difficulties. So when last we left our intrepid adventurers, we were the completely unwitting saviors of one Jimmy the Finger, a data broker with deep underground mob ties in the Seattle sprawl. And I believe the last thing he did for you guys, before we just cut it, y'all didn't decide what to do after that, was he gave you an address for a something with an address in the Olympic Island coast. And Alderman Florian, since this area is known in your voting district, you know that this particular building is basically on the edge of civilization. Past this point, there's just a bunch of jaggedy rocks. It's a high cliff. It's pretty gnarly. So where we're going is the closest thing the Seattle sprawl has to an abandoned site or something to that effect. To re-describe the situation, you group are still, hang on a minute, let me kill the sounds of my phone because I'm a bad presenter and an even worse DM. We were still at Club Emerald. I believe Jimmy's guys were just about to start cleaning up the 6 dead unfortunate bastards that made the wrong call in assuming that you 3 were not going to be there. So right now then, the choice is yours. Whatever you want to do at this point, you have an obvious direction to go. You can start to make your way to this new location that got pinged on your grid guide. And you can also do whatever else you want to do before you start heading out to that location. I'll take it away.
So we're still at the club right now.
We are still at the club, yes.
We got a new contact. Is there anything that these guys dropped that we want? You guys want to see if we can loot any of these weapons? You've got
6 dead bodies and 3 fighters. So if y'all want to roll 2d6s and see what people got on them, let's see what we got. No, you'll be rolling 1d6 per dead body, and whatever you roll will decide what it is you get.
I glitch. I poke my.
Yeah. No, you just don't find anything. Okay. Here's your glitch. If you get a 2, you don't find anything. If you get a 1, not only do you not find anything, but you would have found something that would have been really useful. But because of whatever damage was done to the guy, you fucked it up.
Another spellful guy on him, unbonded, and it's shattered. It's shattered,
and you broke it.
Yeah.
You blew it. So there's that. Brody, Alderman Florian, if you want to make your roll, go ahead.
I don't reckon I need nothing off these here bodies that we smashed and mangled.
And of course, Ig and Ook, Jimmy's 2 guards, although they do look special forces, for some reason they keep looking at you guys like, why the fuck are we rolling dead bodies? Like, I thought we were above this. We're better than this now. So they're just sitting there. They've got their cold M23s in hand. They're just like,
noticing this, I'm gonna be like,
really?
Just looking for clues. There could be clues of what organization these guys work for, or something like that.
Still got a little bit of Percy Hardcastle going on there, huh?
Always looking for clues. Just
What's
2d6.
the rule?
You got 2d6. And since I can see what your two individual dice are, I can tell you guys what you got.
Where'd you roll it in? The dice maiden?
There you go.
Roll it in roll 20.
I mean,
roll 20.
Oh yeah,
we're on roll 20, homie.
Jesus.
Oops.
Someone didn't eat their Wheaties this morning.
Okay.
You ate too much Wheaties.
Yeah, I've had a pretty long day myself too, so it's taken some effort for me to. Yo, do you seriously have the Enterprise as your background, Nick?
I'm the cat. I need to be farther
Yeah, you're
away.
in like the pilot seat, actually.
I'm just right up on the view screen. I need my glasses.
Wolf, get this.
So you're that one. You're that one Ferengi from season 1. There we go. Okay, so
Shut up, Wesley.
Florian, you check one of the guys with the AK, and provided you don't just want to take his AK, which you know for a fact he has, he doesn't have anything of any value on him. Clearly, he walked in, he had nothing on his person. The 4 is going to be one of the two guys with the twin HK-223s. He has a concealable holster for both of those 23s. And he also has a med pack on him. It's a rank 3. And then he also has a couple of grenades on him as well. Just a couple of flash grenades. Clearly, the guys with the HKs were supposed to be the shock troops. They were going to make the most amount of noise, scare the shit out of everybody in the room, get them all to flee, leave in a panic, and then use the panic as cover to go take out Jimmy the Finger.
James the Fingertip.
I'm going to yank the
Mr.
med pack off of this
Phalange.
guy.
All right.
Stuff it into my jacket.
Add you a med pack, rank 3 to your gear list.
In Spanish, he'd be Senor Dedos.
Write that one down.
He'd be very dead.
Funny, Nick. I halfway expect Brody to just kind of walk to one of the bars on the first floor and just hop over the counter, yank one of the top shelf liquor bottles, and just go, "This is payment for my job."
Well, he said at the end of last episode, he said that we could each take one bottle.
Oh yeah, I did.
So he already did that. I went over and grabbed it. He doesn't care if it's just alcohol to him. He's like, what? Hey, you got any Everclear? Where would that be located?
The bartender, having witnessed 3 dudes take out a team twice their size, completely by surprise, pretty much. One of which was crushed to death by a very large man, and the other one was zapped with Emperor Palpatine fire like lightning. And the same guy also took a dude out with his own Uzi 3. He's just kind of sitting there like, points up to the shelf like,
Brew's gonna make his way over there. Yeah.
Thanks, I'll take that.
He's gonna make his way over there. He's gonna look for a bottle of absinthe. He's like, I heard that this helps you see astrally. Got the wormwood in it.
We don't do absinthe here. It's the shitty stuff. It's the shitty stuff.
Okay,
You don't want
Jeez,
this.
settle down.
He very quickly like reaches over. You see him kind of rifling through the shelf and like, hey,
Dr. Philo K's.
Here. Just don't zap me, man. Don't fry me. Don't fry me.
But I could. No, I'm just kidding.
I wish I could add like I want you guys to have like Brody, you're gonna have a bottle of alcohol rating 5, and then Brew, you're gonna have a bottle of liquor rating 3.
Add that to my notes.
All right, any other business we want to take care of here at Club Emerald before we hit the road?
No, we're gonna hit the road, and on the way out, I'm gonna just let the bouncer know, like, this all could have prevented if we had been let in a timely manner. Good day to you, sir.
You know what? Shut up, weirdo. I don't need this shit on my conscience any more than it already is. Get the fuck off my property.
Well, I mean, your bouncer did delay us for quite some time at the door. We were standing, he was very rude, and I was being nothing but flirtatious and sweet to him.
His license revoked.
So how are y'all getting to this tag?
Who drives? Who drives? The alderman has a fucking suite of limousines.
I can drive, but I don't have my vehicle is not here.
Well, the same app with which you got the tag for your next destination.
Have your sheet.
I check my sheet.
No, I have it on my sheet.
Well, as long as we're not doing vehicle combat
location.
It's like hop into a vehicle.
Oh, if we need a ride, I could take care of that. Alderman Florian reaches into his pocket and pulls his comically small phone out. Bench, come get us.
Where are you, sir?
Track my location on my phone.
Understood. Give me 15 minutes.
Very well. Bench will be here in 15 minutes.
All right, so we're gonna flash forward 15 minutes, and oh yeah, you've got that sweet ass Mitsubishi Nights guy, don't you?
I have a Toyota Elite limousine. Is what I have.
Yeah, y'all are riding up to this thing in style. So this is actually perfect. Get you guys some good, like, chill cyberpunk riding off to a mission music in your head, because we're going to use this road trip to do the character intros as the camera like follows the three of you in as you're all walking in. You all kind of crawl in. You can see when Brody gets in, the car sags a little bit, and then when Florian gets in, the car sags a little bit more. You see Minch in the driver's seat. He's got the driver cap on. And
so we're in a limo?
Yeah, you're in a limo. And
I'm gonna, so like most cars, like the back seat will fold down and you can kind of halfway get into the trunk.
Okay.
So I'm gonna like kind of like lay in halfway in the trunk
Oscar
and halfway in the
right now?
back of the car. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Unfortunately, the problem with that is where you would like to be is where the minibar is.
Oh, well then I won't mess with it at all.
So the way it works is with this particular car, since you're in the United States, you pull over to the right side of the road and you let everybody out. So you have one big sliding door that slides down that one side, kind of like a minivan, except it's a limousine. So the door kind of, picks up a little bit and then slides all the way down, and then everybody starts getting in. And you notice that you have these kind of bench seating going right alongside on the opposite end of the car. So everybody is sitting immediately behind the driver. And then there's the seat on the other side, enough for one other person. So you've got seating for 4, maybe 5, definitely 3, because you've got 3 people here. Florian, you recognize that the seat that's usually reserved for one person is actually kind of big enough for a person and a half, because that's the seat that you're usually in. Yes. Because that's the one that's got like all of the comm stuff here on your arm and all that stuff. So like this car is designed for you to be having a conversation with any number of people while you're riding up somewhere. Anything from political glad handing to making sure that your special guest is being properly cared for.
Right.
So the camera follows you guys in. We follow Brody as he makes his way to the mini bar, and he's like, "Hey, can I get some of these?" And you've got Florian. He takes his usual seat. And then you've got Brew. Brew, what are you doing when you get in the car?
I'll follow in last. Kind of like the kind of kid who shows up late, sits at the back of the class. So I'm gonna just find like a nice quiet spot. Maybe find some like what do they got? Wasabi peas, edamame beans. What's the snacks back here?
You got since it's all soy, you've got wasabi edamame.
Okay. Grab some I'll grab a
So you're kind of that means you're sitting all the way
Yeah, I'll
back
grab
against the mini
handful
bar.
of that.
You're
And I'm just
probably
eating
hanging
one
out with
at a
Brody
time,
back
gazing
there.
out the window. I'll do my character intro. So, Brew cast spells by moonlight, sleeps it off by daylight, never runs from a real fight. He's the shaman they call Brew. And he's in the back of a limousine right now, and he's just had a big scrap. He's with a new team, and he's snacking out edamame, and he's just watching things play out. The owl told me to leave the house tonight, and I got edamame beans, and that's why I love the owl, is what he thinks.
Rad. All right, so wondering whether or not he can raid the mini bar. We've got Brody.
Brody is a troll, a aesthetic monk, and a shadow runner. He's new, freshly out of the forest into the Emerald City, and just linking up with his first running crew, doing his first real runs. He's kind of been on a couple of milk runs before this, but nothing serious. And someone got killed. Lots of people got killed.
And
so I'm not sure I feel how I feel about that, being as I am a pacifist, but I did kill a man. So
no, technically you didn't. You threw the bottle.
Yeah, that's true.
And you hit the dude. You did stun damage, but that guy, because he had 0 trigger discipline, when he flinched on the hit, he put 3 in the chest of the buddy next to him.
Okay.
So technically, you didn't kill anybody. You're still a pacifist, my friend.
Even still a pacifist. Love it.
And then finally, sitting in his usual judgment seat and wondering who the fuck he just let in his car, we have Alderman Rubio Florian.
Rubio Florian. I am Rick. I am playing Rubio. Rubio is the alderman of his district. He is a 7-foot tall cyber monster, basically, but he's in control, and he's also aware of where the Dots pretzels are, so he's eating those instead of the edamames.
Dots? Really?
Yeah. He's
You're not even going for the Snyders? What the fuck, man?
He's a Dots man. He grew up.
I mean, you're rich. You do whatever the fuck you want with your money, but Dots?
He'll debate you with about the seasonings and the nuances of flavors.
All right. All I'm saying is I'm a Snyder's and Hanover man till I die. That's all I'm saying.
I'm still a Granny Goose guy, but you can't get it anywhere anymore.
I've never even heard of it.
Oh, my dad worked for Granny Goose. It was like a chip company, and we had a ton of like Snyder's cheese pretzels and stuff like that, and like the buffalo pretzels all the time growing up, because they were part of the Granny Goose company.
I like that pizza.
I had those on vacation just the other day. Bro. It was the only thing I ate on Sunday. But yeah, Rubio is 7 feet tall. He's got long white hair, cyber eyes. He's in a dapper all black suit. Mensch is his henchman who's driving, and yeah, he's scanning basically these guys with Terminator vision because he doesn't trust them. So he's
now. Are we talking anything. Like solid red eyes, kind of like Kano from Mortal Kombat, but on both eyes, and something like that?
Okay. Yeah, they're blue right now though, because they're kind of mood based.
Somewhat obvious eyebrows, but they're cosmetic. They're not like just like chunks of metal hanging out your face.
Oh no, they're super obvious. They're like Batus or whatever. They're like very
you have
white and extended from. Yeah, they're obvious. Part of his platform is the not to be scared of your cyber. So he wears the cyber eyes proudly and
obviously. Not going to be able to treat you most likely if your essence is like point.
Yeah, this dude has dick essence, man. It is just.
I'm invisible in the astral.
Just the occasional wisp of energy somewhere. So do the three of you take this opportunity to at least introduce each other, since y'all didn't get the chance to do so?
Yeah, I guess they're in my limo.
So I'm munching. I go for
welcome. Yeah, welcome to my car. I am Rubio Florian, your alderman.
Bam! Rubio Florian, politician, cybernetic enthusiast. Definitely not somebody you want to mess with.
Yeah. Who are you?
Oh, well, I am just a humble street shaman, and my totem is the owl. You may know. Um,
Bam!
yeah,
Brew, humble street shaman, friends with the owl,
yeah.
definitely a night guy.
Breaking it down, yeah, pretty good intro. And yeah. So, Brody, what's your deal? We haven't heard from you. You seem like what are you a troll or some sort of gorilla with intentions?
Well, I was raised by Sasquatch. I am a troll. But my mother is a Sasquatch.
Bam! Brody, Simeon troll, pretty good with grenades, even better with a spiral tossed
Drunken
empty
master.
bottle.
Your voice is grating.
Well, I have been told that I do have a grating voice, but some other people say that it's like a songbird singing in their ear, and it lulls them into a deep trance. So I don't know if you want me to talk or you don't want me to talk, but I could just keep
I
talking
believe in
forever.
like synergy.
The GM could listen to you talk for
I
hours
believe in,
and
like,
hours.
synergy and stuff, and some people say that I have like a soothing balm of a voice, almost like aloe on your injured ears. But perhaps if I just speak after him, then the grading will boost for you.
If Rubio's face was any less plastic, you could see it wince. He's
He's trying to be angry. Try not to freak out.
trying to accept you guys. He's like,
So you're driving through. We got our intros out of the way, both for the audience and for each other. Now that y'all finally get the chance to kind of quote unquote warm up to one another. It takes about 15 minutes from Club Emerald to roll up to the entrance to this particular area. Like you got to cross a bridge to go into Olympic Island. And then once you cross into the bridge, you start to notice something. Everybody give me perception rolls. Straight intelligence. Use your intellect. We'll make it a 4. It's a clear night, but okay. 3 successes for Brew.
what is it's perception?
Yeah. It's a straight intelligence roll.
Okay.
Four target number.
Target number 4, yes, sir.
Oh, oops. I rolled without a target number, but hey, you can see I got one of them.
Actually, I can't see anything from you.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I've got Brew's 3, and I've got Brody's 2.
On your character lifestyle, 16.
Okay.
One. Okay. So, you know what? 1 would be all you needed for that one. So you've got windows behind where the 3 seats are, and they're like it's in one uninterrupted, long interrupted window, and then on the other side you've got 2 windows. One kind of like they don't sit behind your head, but the seat's kind of like right there where the column is for the door. So you've got a panel here and a panel here, but nothing here. So the 4 of you, the 3 of you can look around almost 360 and see what's going on outside. As soon as you cross this particular bridge, grid guide cuts out. Mensch will even roll down the divider and say, Boss, I'm afraid we're driving blind now. Do we want to continue going? I can if you wish me to.
Turn the lights off and use your night eyes.
Excellent choice, sir. And that's exactly what he does. He goes completely dark. Even the cabin is completely blacked out. The only light is what little moonlight is shining through the tall trees in this forest. With his cybernetic eyes, he's still very capable of making all of these twists and winds and turns. But something else that you notice through this road is there aren't any wrecks. Like, this road doesn't look like it's hardly traveled at all. It's just kind of there with the kind of turns that you can feel as the G's shift while he's making these turns. You can tell that the road is a kind of windy, but there are no accidents. There are the occasional remnants of an accident, but they seem like they are pretty cleaned up. And the only evidence of it is you can see like little notches taken out of these trees that are growing out here that seem to be larger than usual. And that's when you realize that this particular island for you, Florian, is one that tries to stay off the map, even for you. You're never really aware of this place. And sure enough, the other two can too. Raise your hand if you can see an astral. But we got one guy in astral. If you were to go in astral right now, this place would be lit the fuck up. Like the trees all glow. The even almost seems like the road itself glows as well. Other people from astral have noticed this as well, and this is why this island is kind of considered quote unquote haunted. What's going on is there are two schools of thought, I guess technically three. On the one hand, whatever is on this island is so magically capable that he's able to keep this mana barrier thing around to scare off any unwitting people. And it's almost like driving around in the Lost Woods from The Legend of Zelda. You don't know precisely where you're going. Almost. You don't see any evidence of a spell if you go into astral. This place just seems alive on its own.
Given that information, sorry, I would just
the
like to
other school
cast my spell flexes. So you could continue. I'll just roll that.
Fair enough. The other school of thought is this place isn't exactly magical, but whoever and whatever is here has so much money that they're able to afford a level of privacy unheard of in the Seattle sprawl anymore. Drain test 11. I'm just so happy to see double-digit drain tests, man. After playing with Barry for so long, and every time he made a drain test, he hurt himself. Like it's okay. Good to see this. Congratulations,
okay, so
sir.
I do have a sustained spell now, so +2 to all my target numbers. Is that only for magic stuff or just for everything? Sustained spell.
I would assume for everything.
Drain.
Everything.
I don't know.
Yeah, it's everything involving an agility test or a quickness test. Since I'm apparently playing 5th edition now. Sorry. So we continue to wind along these roads, and you pop out all of a sudden into a clearing. And clearly you're on the other side of the island, because you can see the Atlantic coast with the waves just crashing, or you would assume crashing, because as you get closer to the edge, you realize that the edge is like 120 feet up in the air. But this looks like a naturally occurring rock right here. So it's almost like rolling up to like the cliffs of Dover, like the really, really tall things out in... Yeah, thank you, Eric Johnson. And you roll up to a big, it just looks like an industrial warehouse. It's just a big cube, pretty much. And then there is a smaller kind of rectangular prism just kind of attached to it, and that's where two big double doors appear. And so he turned suddenly you get the lights turned back on in the car as Minch rolls the divider back down, sticks his head back out. Mr. Florian, I believe we have reached our destination. Shall we continue?
Yes.
Brute turns to
and so he begins.
Brody. Turn to Brody. Hey Brody, the only thing this scene is missing is a guy in a horse carriage going, "The castle is cursed."
Lightning strikes. Bah, bah, bah.
I don't understand the reference.
Nor I.
We just made 2 Jaws references last session, and Brody didn't get a single one of them. So this man has no culture whatsoever.
I don't know what you're talking about either.
Who would vote?
So he begins. So your man begins to pull into what can maybe be called a parking lot. It's just a nice paved out area. They just assume you'll park wherever anyway. I guess. So he pulls up and he goes, "Well, you've reached your destination."
Open the doors, please.
Doors open. You see the as it slides up. And as the 3 of you disembark from the coolest limousine ever, Mensch one more time sticks his head out the divider. As Florian, you follow in the back. He asks you, "Mr. Florian, what are my orders from here?"
Take the car a couple miles away, and I'll wait my orders from there.
Understood.
Find somewhere dark.
Perhaps not a couple of miles away. That may put me on the other side of the forest. However, perhaps I could sit at the edge of the trees.
Shadow kilometers away.
Oh, that's right. Wherever you find most prudent.
Understood. I will stay as close to the trees as possible. If you need me, you know where to find me.
Yes. Thank you, Mensch.
My pleasure, Mr. Florian. He gets back in the car and calmly, routinely starts driving back the way he came.
All right. I don't even look back. Are you ready?
Yeah, ready as I'm gonna be. Who
I
wants
was
to knock
born
on the
ready.
big metal knocker? That's
It's an industrial building in a dystopian
okay.
future. There's no knocker.
It's like the one from Scary Movie 2 with the big brass balls.
Yeah, I'll knock on it.
Heavy ass cyber arm.
And
Bong,
where else?
bong, bong.
Mm-hmm.
You hear a click.
I'm waiting.
I heard the click, so he's just standing there.
The door opens, and these are double doors. So do you open both at the same time?
One and
or you
just
open one
peek in and go hello.
As you open that one, the other one follows it, and so both doors begin to swing open.
Magical?
It's, I mean, check the astral.
Okay, well,
Since you can do that.
Just like astral spirit or something. So just roll a perception test. Count it as astral perception. Go target number.
I mean, you don't even
Target number. See anything?
make it another 4. I mean, this place is blank. Like, especially in comparison to what you just drove through out there, you're surprised that you see absolutely no oral resistance here. Aural resistance. Yeah.
I don't want to roll another check, but could I tell if it's mechanical?
Yeah. Like, it's the telltale signs of entirely mechanical processes.
It's like hydraulic, automatic.
And
I think my school used to have.
And on top of that, like, it almost sees, you turn around, you look back outside, you see that same astral presence that you were driving through for about 10 minutes, and then it just seems to stop right there
in
at
my
the edge
mind.
of the
I'm kind of picturing this presence you're describing as if there's like a thin layer of algae. It's kind of glowing all over everything.
Yeah, like bioluminescent lichen kind of.
Okay, well, if there's no one to greet me in the foyer, I'm gonna keep on pressing forward. I'm gonna tell the other guys, looks like the coast is clear so far.
This is kind of creepy, and I don't like it.
Weren't you raised by like monsters?
A Sasquatch. There, we have a very
Monsters.
sophisticated society.
And the both of you, naturally, Florian and Brody, the both of you actually have to duck down a little bit to get underneath. I think Brody, you're what, 8 foot tall, 9 foot tall?
8 feet.
8 foot?
Dunk.
Yeah, you have to duck a little bit lower than Tinted does to get inside. This is not so much a foyer as it is an antechamber, similar to like if you've ever done any warehouse work. You know that you walk in through the entrance, and then you've got lockers on one side, and you've got like hangers on the other side for clothing and such. And it's kind of like a scan-in area, kind of thing. But since this is the future, all you have to do is walk in, and you can see 2 sensors kind of they're kind of flanking the next set of double doors. Just
like
inside.
the rave lasers that like looks like they're imaging us.
You do get that a little bit. And so you get one, it does its pass, front, back. Get the other one, does its pass, front, back. And then you hear it. A voice under heavy modification. I'm not going to actually do the voice itself.
You better do the voice, Chuck.
All right.
He just caved immediately.
All right, you asked for it. Here we go. Oh. It appears as though the heroes of the hour have arrived. Hail, hail, the conquering heroes.
Hero.
Yes, I watched your incursion into Jimmy the Finger's humble abode.
What's this
voice?
guy look like? We just
It's a
hear a
voice.
voice.
It's a
From
disembodied voice.
Oh. Well, disembodied voice.
Mr. Disembodied Voice, sir.
Mr. Disembodied Voice, sir. I don't reckon that my mama always told me that you should look a man in his eye when you have such a handsome voice.
That's what she said.
So
What?
I'd appreciate it if you show your face. This is just too much for I like the whispering woods, but not the speaking walls.
As ironic as the concept of the honor among thieves may be, in your particular line of work, though your mother sounds a very wise woman indeed, I am afraid that our interactions must be done only through voice. Forgive me for my rudeness, but you will understand if I maintain a strict policy
Most
on
of the time,
full
Drew's
privacy.
face is fully covered, so he's like, I don't see any issue.
The only television show I ever watched was Charlie's Angels, and there's a similar situation on that show, so I guess I'll abide by it.
Very well. That seems a fitting name enough. Call me Charlie.
Hello, Charlie.
And hello to you, Alderman Florian. A pleasure to see you here on my hallowed grounds. My apologies if I have been rather reluctant to file my property taxes.
Well, I can look the other way for now.
I would hope so. Gentlemen, we have far more important matters to discuss than whether I am guilty of tax evasion, however. But I need
You're
you
the
to
one that brought
understand-
it up.
I was making what they call chit-chat, small talk. Now, if you don't mind, to the business at hand. But before we truly get into that, I must maintain my privacy. That also includes the location of this building and the location of this island. The only people who know about this island are the only ones that I allow to know about it. You will note the very thick mana barrier that was around as you drove through the forest.
Triple thick.
That is there for a reason. So, before we begin, I must have the three of you swear on pain of death. And at that point, when he says on pain of death, two big fuck off minigun drone turrets drop from the corners on the inner doorway side of the antechamber, and they're like, they swivel real fast, like they're good gyros, and they like drop in, they go, and then they train themselves on the three of you as they start to do kind of this number as they're bouncing back and forth between targets.
This is some bullshit right here, if I ever seen it.
Bullshit, Mr. Brodius. All I ask is that you maintain secrecy. The Mafia refer to it as Omerta, the code of silence. This is your only entry fee. However, if you choose to leave, the only way you are walking out of this room is in a pine box.
Listen, I think I can speak for everyone. We're fine. You're Charlie. You live in the chocolate factory. You reside in the great glass elevator. Doesn't matter. You're getting paid and not dying, then that's good.
The chocolate factory. A fitting choice, again, in pop culture references. Mr. Brodius, you would do well to pay attention to these people's references.
I gotta see it to believe it.
And that you will do. However, again, I must insist that you keep this place entirely to yourself. Do we have a deal?
Deal.
Very well.
Drew, I assume you already gave your consent to entry?
That's why I do things at night.
Well then, gentlemen, allow me to show you into the first layer of my secrets. And at that, the guns recede back into the ceiling, and the next double doors open entirely on their own, and they swing
unclenches,
wide open.
Fist releases the spark spell that was powering up.
Which one of you goes in first?
No, just roll in, all wizardy, you know.
The very first step you take into the room, the floor lights up, maybe about 5 feet in front of you. It looks like if you took one of those disco floors, made all of the colors white, and then you made the resolution into like 640 by 480, as opposed to, I can see every individual pixel in this thing.
So like, is it like when I step, like
there's
the pixels like do a little way across the ground?
Oh, it registers your first step, and then it does kind of ripple, but the ripple is bright at first, and then it kind of backs off in the brightness and stays on at that level. So it's kind of like a does this number light-wise across the floor, and you see that that 5 foot distance between the wall behind you and where the floor starts is echoed throughout the rest of this flat square. Outside of this, the only two things that you can see inside this room are a central thing begins to come down in a spiral sort of thing. It looks like a combination of the GLaDOS computer from the first Portal and a Jumbotron. And it spirals out from about 40 feet up in the air, comes down to about 25 feet. As it does this, part of the floor begins to rise up to about, I'd say, hip height, all right up to about the height of an average person's dick, okay? And this particular part of the floor, which now seems to appear like a table, glows a little brighter. The GLaDOS Jumbotron turns on. You've got 4 screens that face the 4 walls. And these 4 screens show what could be considered an avatar for Charlie. So that's the first thing you see. The second thing you see is this. Against the wall, dead center on the opposite side from where you came in, there is obviously an elevator shaft with 2 spiral staircases flanking it, going up into a skybox. This skybox looks like it has a computer terminal kind of thing going on. Like if you've ever been, if you've ever seen an AV board in a producer's booth, or if you've ever seen a sound technician's booth at a concert. Yeah. Like you can't see the buttons and dials and monitors, but you recognize the machines from the back. You can tell that's kind of what's going on right there.
Yeah.
Actually, no, never mind. They're not facing the inside. They're up against the wall. So you got this faint glow coming in through the plate glass windows that go from the ceiling of the skybox to the floor.
Blinking and hitting. Okay, so
right.
Did you guys follow me in, or did you just hear Brew walk into a room? You heard a bunch of like shit power up, and then you see like lights start flashing, and you're just standing. Okay.
No, I followed you.
So I guess we're standing on the platform together. Well, Brody, what are you?
Yes, same. I'll just be like, I'll stand rear guard.
Okay. So you said you were standing on the platform. Okay, that's cool. So you kind of walk up to it, and then the platform begins to lift. So you're like, and it takes a couple of seconds for it to get up to height, and you do notice the difference in brightness as it gets brighter.
It's like
once
being
it
like 4 feet away from my max screen.
Level.
I'm like, oh.
Almost. And then, and as you're doing that, the screen, like I said, it shows the avatar, and what this avatar is it keeps shifting between portraits of famous people. And it like kind of morphs from one to the other and never stays in one face for longer than like a split second, maybe a frame. And it just morph. So as you're riding the path up, you hear Charlie speak up in this microphone again. Would you mind not standing on the table, please?
Drop down then. I'll just gingerly
so
first sit down and then slide off while still like, hold on.
So when you hop down, another like I would say a 4x4 square column pops up at maybe about half the height of the table, and the lights turn off. And it's like directly in front of where you are at that moment. Please have a seat.
So out of character, I kind of get what's happening. I don't even have an electronic skill. So if I ride it out. See what's next. Sit down.
What are the rest of y'all up to?
Yep, these chairs look pretty cut. Are they like stuck to the floor, or are they movable?
They are the floor.
They rise out.
The chairs are the floor?
The chairs are the floor. They rise
up
to meet your ass.
Like, okay.
Like, in fact,
does 2 of them come up to support my ample cheeks?
Yes, a stool befitting of a troll and a 7-foot cyber the fuck up human both arise where you guys decide to be at this table.
I'm gonna like lean very far back and see if more will come up to support my back, and I can like lounge like a beach chair.
You don't quite catch it fast enough.
It just falls over.
So you almost start to fall over. But what has happened is they kind of came up at an angle like this, expecting you to fall over. So instead of like snapping your back in half when you fall backward, you kind of get caught by the floor. a little bit. So it's almost like you fall on a set of really tiny steps for you. So you just feel like the ridges, almost like you fall on a washboard kind of thing. And so these begin to keep going up. You hear Charlie, I guess I should probably program in some seat backs for you. My apologies. Once again, I prove a very unworthy host.
Oh well, it's accommodating my cheeks, so it's all right.
Very well. If we are all situated and comfortable, I would like to discuss the matter at hand.
Indeed.
So, the floor lights dim, kind of like you're sitting at a planetarium or a movie theater. They dim to about that level, so you can still see the floor. The backlights that separate the top 20 feet of the warehouse from the bottom 20 feet, those dim as well. And that's when the table glows particularly bright, and then a hologram pops up. And this hologram kind of replaces the shifting avatars from the TVs as the TVs turn off. And this one actually kind of moves. It's a wireframe version of the avatar, and it moves along with the speaking. So if you had a computer or an electronics skill, you would know that this is basically your Mr. Johnson mocapped in.
Okay. That's
Gentlemen,
cool.
Welcome to what can best be described as one of my inner sanctums. I called you in here tonight because, especially in light of your exquisite performance at Club Emerald, the three of you are just expendable enough that nobody will miss you if you fail this mission. But you are three highly capable individuals, and that is what I'm looking for my grander scheme. I have a plan for something truly great. But before we begin this plan, I must, as they said in the Fifth World, get the band together to do so. And this is where you three come in. I have chosen an additional 4 people who represent experts in their particular skill sets and fields of profession. I need as many of these 4 as you can salvage for me. Are you following me so far, gentlemen?
Are they all these people garbage?
They are not garbage, I assure you. The amount of money that I am willing to pay them, and indeed, the amount of money that I am willing to pay you, should be evidence enough of how much I value their skills and expertise.
So, extractions.
In a sense, yes. 2 of them may take some doing. They have a history with each other. They don't particularly appreciate each other, usually. But I do need them both. If you can salvage both of them, I would prefer it. But if you can only salvage one, that will be enough as well. I have other feelers out for alternative members of my team. We can use them in a pinch. But the other two are practically indispensable. It will be very difficult for me to find alternates should we lose these 2.
Okay, so I'm just trying to make everything clear. Basically, he's presenting us with these 4 missions, but missions are represented by image targets. Okay, so he's saying that
Yes.
2 of the targets he wants them all captured. 2 of them can maybe be them are indispensable. Is that basically what's going on with? Okay.
Yes.
Yeah. We're gonna do them.
Brody wants to take one of the ones where the expendable targets.
Preferably, do not kill these people. Again,
But you said to do them, so we're gonna do them.
I did not say anything about elimination.
But you did say
my
to
wife,
do them.
she'll do you twice as fast as you do it.
Oh
I'm
shit!
beginning to have second doubts as to my choice.
And you also said that nobody would miss us, and my mother would
I'm gonna like
miss me.
throw one of my
And
fucking
indeed.
my poncho sleeves over Brody just to be like, listen, Brody, we could hash this all out later.
Once his eyes are covered, it's like a crocodile. He just like.
Okay, all right, that works.
So these are the 4 that you were looking for. And at this point, I would have some really cool AI images of the 4 people that you're looking for, but I cannot trust AI that I do not know how to personally program. So I may have to get Joe Napalm on some
Okay,
on
so
some
just
decent
table
artwork
talk,
too.
guys. This is Max speaking. I want to do the mission that it's like closest, takes the least setup, and has the least fail conditions. So one of the ones where the person can die if they have to, or they like if someone gets them and we can't fix them, then that's what we should do first.
What's the beef between the 2 that don't like each other? What's their gripe?
That will lead to the appearance, the wireframe of your Johnson swaps away and is replaced by 2 3-dimensional holographic dossier, like mugshot kind of looking things that are rotating. So you get a good view of the entirety of their head, not just their face. I get to open the book. Yay, I get to open the book. Okay, here we go. The man on the left is there it is. The man on the left is known as Ethan Callis. He goes by the street name Mercutio. He is a charming man. You would expect as much from an elf. But his charm is used for seemingly chaotic means. He is definitely an anti-capitalist, and he is definitely an anti-corporate. The one on the right is former Lone Star, Lieutenant Gloria McAllister. She goes by the call sign Javert. She is still very straight-laced, very by the book. She is now the leader of a private security firm, and she is not afraid of being her own boots on the ground. So these 2 have had multiple run-ins with each other, where they are usually on opposite teams. They know each other. They know each other well. They may or may not like each other. If anything, Lieutenant McAllister may not like Mr. Callis anywhere near as much as Callis may purport to like Lieutenant McAllister.
Well, you know what I always say is ACAB. So
Want to go after the Lone Star first, huh? I was thinking we go after this elf guy first.
no, I say we should not go after the Lone Star. Nobody likes cops.
For the both of you, unfortunately for the both of you, if you go after one, chances are you will encounter the other. I have had my own recon teams following each of these 4 people. We know where they are, all 4 of them. But for the 2 that you are asking about, these two seem to just encounter each other. So
like spy versus spy.
Pretty much. Pretty much.
Okay. We have a file on their locations? Or are we saying most likely they'll be in the same place?
Most likely they will be in the same place. We have had several reports of certain locations where key events may be happening, and as such, we believe that the presence of one, and thus the presence of the other, will be highly probable. We have one event in London. There is a showing of the crown jewels as historical artifacts. We believe that Mercutio may be stealing the crown jewels. We're not entirely sure why. However, Javert also has good cause to defend the crown jewels, most likely because the corporate security in charge of the historical property will pay her handsomely to ensure that nothing ever happens to it. Another event will be the Security Technology Conference in Berlin, run by Zeiderkrupp. They are holding this conference in Berlin in perhaps a week. While they're there, let's just say that for both Javert and Mercutio, these will be a target-rich environment. One other location will be in Osaka. We have heard tell that there is a changing of the guard happening here with one AA mega corporation. We are led to believe that there could be an assassination attempt on several key members of either side of the old or new guard. And depending on who dies and who survives, the vote could swing one way or the other. So, Javert's security company has been asked to provide special security for some people. Mercutio, on the other hand, being the type that he is, would very much like to cause havoc for either one of these teams, if not both. Which brings me again to Istanbul, where something similar is happening there. This is more of a hostile takeover, however. I'm not entirely sure exactly what Javert may be doing there. She may be contracting out to one team or the other for that. But Mercutio would definitely love to see the hostile takeover ruined altogether.
Okay.
And one last location in Dubai. There will be 2 AA mergers happening there. One is a very, very ultra-conservative group, and another one is much more progressive than the other. Mercutio would most likely see the more progressive team take over. He is one for optimism and hope. Javert, on the other hand, only contracts herself to people who can afford her services, and that would be the ultra-conservative group as well. You see where this is going, gentlemen.
Okay, Bruce pulls out his finger. So you say, okay, so we're talking crown jewels level security, dragons, Zaibatsus. Then what's happening in what was the other one? Cairo, Istanbul. Istanbul was another hostile takeover, or that's the one in Dubai.
You've got a hostile takeover in Istanbul. You have a AA merger in Dubai. You've got the crown jewels in London, and then you have Osaka.
Germany.
There's a board vote
Berlin
for changing of the guard, and then the Berlin.
Listen, I don't want to mess with Sater-Krupp security, so that's out of the question. Don't really want to deal with like international royalty either, so I don't want to do England. So that leaves it between. Do you guys? Any of you guys speak Japanese? You have an etiquette corporate.
I have.
I imagine nobody here speaks Turkish or Arabic, so there is that. But you are going to the United Arab Emirates, so
anyone in a
exactly
corpo also speaks.
Just and like Istanbul is a Istanbul is a cosmopolitan enough city, even now in real world 2025, that you'll run into plenty of English speakers there too. Every place you go is popular enough, big enough, that you will run into plenty of English speakers. So you don't necessarily need to know the language in order to function properly in any of these cities.
Also, we have Linguasoft available, so we really need it.
Yeah, so the London one, it's basically, that's a heist where you have to play between the security and the heist. All the other ones seem like kind of... Let's see.
I am very diplomatic.
He is very diplomatic.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I mean, Alderman, and you were wearing a well put together suit. You're very tall, so I'll defer to you.
I say we use some diplomacy. Let's
go to Osaka, Japan.
Yeah, let's go to Osaka.
Japan.
Japan. Round one. Fight. So you so the two images of Javert and Mercutio are basically just swiped away. And now here's the really cool part. You get an awesome, like, full relief map of the Japanese archipelago, also doing the awesome holographic rotation thing coming out of this table. And you see the red dot right there where Osaka is. And the camera will zoom in on the red, will kind of expand on the red dot, and it will show you the map for, if I can remember where the hell I just put these notes, it will show you the map for the Mitsuhama building. It will show you like the logo for Mitsuhama. It kind of shows you the grid guide map on where it is in relation to the other areas in the neighborhood. The Japanese archipelago kind of scoots off to the angle over here, and you just kind of get all of that information spit out right there.
Comlink text to speech, it's broken, so it just sounds like the debriefing in Star Fox 64. So it's just going dab 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 dab.
Very well. If Osaka is your choice, then I will make sure that you have your transportation ready. And in fact, I'm getting word that your transportation is in fact ready as we speak. And at that point, you hear the elevator doors open up.
Just one more question before your light face goes away again.
Yes, Mr. Brogius.
It seems like do we get some cool suits? It seems like we're doing some kind of mission where we warrant a cool uniforms, suit.
Man.
I guess I should discuss payment. As I said, with how much I am willing to pay you all for your services throughout the entirety of your various extractions, I do value your presence and your skills. I did, in fact, watch the Club Emerald altercation from start to finish. That was a very impressive tactic that all three of you pulled. I am touched. So, here is the way these missions will work. And I will allow your game master, I believe he is called, to switch back to his normal voice and have a conversation with the three of you as players, if you don't mind. Okay, cool. So, here's how this is going to work. Instead of getting paid for every person that you bring into the fold, you'll be paid up front the entirety of 15,000 new yen. Your operational expenses will come out of that basically, 15K.
We're going lifestyle expenses. This. And I feel like this might actually be like a test. I'm able to throw us a bit more of a bone after this. Yeah, I'm not gonna argue with that.
I think so.
Again, this is 15K, so essentially 5,000 new yen for each of you individually. The other $15,000 will be your operational expenses. Anything that you need to spend your money on will come out of that 15K, so you don't have to worry about spending your own money. And then whatever's left over at the end of your particular mission, you get to bank. You can split up however you wish. And then from there, we go on to the next operation.
Rubio is going to try and negotiate. He says 15K is a fair amount, but 18K may cover unexpected expenses.
Give me that persuasion roll. I want to see this. I really want to see this. What matter of fact, let me.
This is a negotiation roll right here, unless you want it to be something else.
I want to pull up your sheet because I think you've got a skill here that I did not add to your paper. Apparently, no, bro, your negotiation is entirely through your charisma.
Yeah.
Interesting.
You just give yourself 6 charisma to default on social skills. I mean, it's a good idea because social skills take all of them to default something.
So, spoiler alert, no, he didn't. No, he didn't. So this is going to be fun. However, I will still keep the target number out of 4. If you pass a singular coin flip, you get it.
If you look in the Chummers thread, there's negotiation 3 right there.
Ah, okay. Yeah, I went to the skills page and apparently none of your skills showed up. So apparently
well,
I'm an asshole, or Roll20 is the asshole.
Here, let me clip them for you so you can
click them.
So you can see yourself.
Fucking click them, bro. I dare you.
Okay.
There you go. There you go, Chuck. You get a little verification.
Where you got there?
In the general.
In general?
Yeah.
Okay, Brad. I will fix that up later because this does look kind of familiar.
Oh.
Bazinga.
3333. I will use
No, you're good. Because
okay.
I did not remember that you had a negotiation skill. And if you were rolling on straight charisma, that was the target number 4. If you've got that skill, that means the target number was 2.
Oh, I nailed that one.
I particularly appreciate how you tried to keep the math easier for the 3 of you. 18 and 15 are both, after all, still divisible by 3. Nice touch. 18,000 it is.
Excellent. Thank you.
Very well. If you don't mind, at which point the overhead light in the actually kind of nice wooden paneled elevator begins to blink a little bit.
So no cool suits is what you're saying. Roundabout.
If you want a suit, Mr. Brodius, I'm afraid it will have to come out of your operational expenses.
Oh, fine.
My apologies.
Oh, we'll get suits.
Snazzy suits for everybody.
Yeah. Snazzy suits for
everybody. Blam!
We're gonna do a quick cut to Men's Warehouse, and we're all standing around.
You're gonna like the way you feel. I guarantee it.
We're at J.C. Penney's.
Stuffer Shack brand tuxedos.
It's cheap.
No, they're the shitty mall rental places like Tuxedo Junction that make them look like written in the Godfather, the Mario Puzo Godfather font. Yeah, that's the Stuffer Shack brand tuxedo rentals right there.
We're renting tuxes.
But yeah.
We renting tuxes.
What's that?
My clothes are tray sheet. Can I just have them laundered? All right.
Sure. So, well, you wouldn't have been able to see the well, I guess you would have been able to see the wood paneling because it's like that one strip right there down the middle, and it's got kind of yeah. We'll leave it at that. One like nice wood paneling strip right there in the middle. Do you guys walk in? You going into the elevator?
Got a flight to catch tonight.
I sent you a message, Chuck, on the.
I see it.
Okay.
So all 3 of us are going into the. All 3 of us are going into the elevator.
Is there any buttons to press?
There's 2. Once you walk in and you turn around, that's where you really see the wood paneling because you've got your buttons over here on the right hand side. There's 3 buttons. I'm sorry. There's 3 buttons. There's one for ground floor, one labeled Skybox, and one labeled Launch.
So I hit launch.
Launch.
I'm like,
so you hit launch. The doors kind of.
Oh, jeez.
And Charlie's voice begins to come through the overhead speaker directly above your head. Don't worry about the food. I imagine we will have some ready for you and you will love it. At that point, the elevator begins to start going down. you notice that it goes maybe about 10 feet, and then the back is not this weird, like, plasteel kind of thing. It is instead plate glass. And as you go down, you get to see the Atlantic Ocean raging with this storm passing over at night. The rain just finally
Very
hit.
up.
Remember that
The
lightning
hangar
I
for
mentioned
the-
earlier? Yeah, that
Like
was
the hangar
actually
for
on
the
its way
Batwing,
over.
it's on the side of a cliff for like freaking out.
Sure enough, you get about another 100 feet down, and then the elevator comes to a stop. Once again, the plate glass is covered by plasteel, similar to the warehouse kind of thing up above. And when it comes to a stop, the door opens, and the first thing you see is a pathway with a guardrail on your right hand side.
Hmm. What's on
And
the
behind, on the other side of this guardrail, by the way, is a nice open spot. This place is huge. As you begin to walk out the elevator, you notice that this is a dock for a massive, massive trimaran style cruise ship looking boat. And it looks like it is uh, properly refitted once again. And this is another one of those things where I could not trust the AI
No,
anymore to
I know
create
I've
this
worked
thing
on ferries
because I'm
like
very
wooded
particular.
ferries. So I was imagining a big berth, a big wide berth, and it's like covered.
Yep. And it's not entirely covered. It does make an astral perception
No
check.
worries. I like target number.
Make it a 6.
And
One success. You try to
Hell
look at this
yeah.
thing in the astral, and the entrance to this dock from the ocean
it's a
glows.
huge physical barrier.
Once again,
like on a
you've
fucking
got your
Star Wars ship.
you've got a I mean, if you look at it with normal eyes, like
Yeah.
nobody else can see astrally. So to them, it just looks like the boat can just sail out unimpeded into the Pacific Ocean. But to you, you see the bioluminescent lichen shimmer going across the entire entry into this dock.
Oh, well, I guess we can't go out that way. Is there any like yellow paint on the ground directing us to where we're supposed to go?
I mean, sure, why not? Actually, no, take that back, because nobody would have any need.
We got off the elevator.
Like, on one
so
side, you can see the boat.
Or is there an airplane? Can we get on a boat and go to Japan? I mean, an airplane ride is like what, 18 hours? How long is it?
Well, as you look at the boat, you notice that both on the bow and the stern and the main body, you have two VTOL aircraft waiting for you.
Okay.
One is an actual like VTOL aircraft, and then another one is a helicopter, like a Bell B-1B, like a Black Hawk
Okay, so this
kind
is
of
like
thing.
a mini aircraft carrier.
fuck yeah.
All right.
Well, I'm a helicopter guy. I've been in lots of helicopters, and I love them. So that's what.
Who's gonna board the
We get
deck?
to
Look
pick.
if there's are there actually crewmen, or is this a fully automated?
You do hear evidence of people rustling around on the outer decks of the ship. You catch one kind of darting in and out of various portholes, various ports into the inner workings of each deck. Like you kind of see him just kind of hook out, go into another door.
There's certain like been on a boat, so sometimes there's doors that just say crew members only, no entry past this. Then there's just like regular doors you could go. Okay.
You don't see those. And as you cross, as you're crossing the gangway, you notice that the main gangway actually lines up. If you look behind you, You have warehouse type area going on through there. We've got what may be a server room looking thing going on as well. And then you have an area that's just labeled crew. It doesn't say no entry or anything like that. It's just labeled crew.
Does it seem like everyone's getting ready to like take off? Like, is it okay? No.
Yeah, yeah. Like there's nothing left on the dock. If they're like this place has been completely swept clean. Your ship looks like it is ready for launch.
On the deck, a night Pacific Ocean. Get below deck. Get below deck, see if there's like a quarters or if there's like a cafeteria. Maybe plop down the cafeteria. If there's a vending machine, kick the soy cola.
So there's no access to the lower decks from the
Is
outside.
a barge?
You have to go in almost. You have to go in through
Like
the
captain's house is what they call the pilot's area.
Oh, you have to go in through the
Okay.
first deck. That's where you get access to everything
Submarine?
from the inside. That's when you start to notice that this thing is painted kind of weird. Like you've been on boats before, so you recognize this. None of the other characters do. So, like, if y'all want to make perception checks to see what's going on, but I'm gonna tell y'all right now, those perception checks are going to be like a 6 or so.
Might as well try.
Worth a shot. Never reason not to roll dice.
Unless you could die. A 6.
If
I got
like,
one.
I jump off the building.
Yeah.
Okay, give me. Maybe you say not.
Girl,
Like, I'm trying to common sense the rolls, like try to push you to the extreme edges. So if I say you don't even need to roll it, then either it would be way too easy or way too hard
Roll your perception.
to pass the roll. So yeah, remember it's your intelligence.
Yeah, you're right. I did do it like that.
So we got 1 success for Brody.
I'm pretty perceptive.
When he lifts up the
I can
bags of his
tell.
bowl cut, he's giant.
Yeah.
Looking like that sheepdog from the Looney Tunes cartoons.
I have very good eyesight. It's just obscured by my sweet haircut. I did it myself.
Rick, I'll go ahead and count that 6 that you've already rolled from your full manual roll there. Brew, I still need a roll from you.
I did roll that 1 on perception. That was an astral. I'll roll again.
Oh, you did. My bad. No, I'm not looking high enough. I'm sorry. So, with your each 1 success, you can't exactly put your finger on it, but you can tell that this boat don't seem to operate by normal nautical rules. Like, you can think back on all the times that you've seen like shipping barges and pleasure craft and other such things like that. And this does not seem to operate even by cruise ship standards. This is a vessel on its own.
I think we're in kind of like a Captain Nemo situation, you guys. This might be like, what's the ship called again?
Indeed
I can't
you
even
are.
remember. The Nautilus? I think we're on the Nautilus right now.
The Nautilus.
Captain Nemo's ship was referred to as the Nautilus, and you hear this guy's voice
Damn, he's
echoing
still
through the
listening to
PA
this.
that's loud enough to be heard.
Wow. Okay. Good to know. I've never been on a boat. This is
Used to work the
exciting.
graveyard shift down at the docks, for a night.
Captain Nemo's ship was referred to as the Nautilus. This, gentleman, is my pride and joy. Meet Fubon.
Fubon.
I had a cousin named Thubon. It's a good name.
Indeed it is. Truly a stately name. Named for one of the most important stars in the world's night sky. Please, I invite you to take a tour, if you would, and you hear a door directly in front of where the gangplank ends. on the ship itself, that door, that port unlocks, and the door kind of swings open on its own. If you would, please make yourself comfortable.
If I had to, is
Oh,
it a
yes.
staircase that leads down, or is it?
Is there a handle?
So you walk in, and this is a nice waiting area looking thing. Like you've got some seats, you got some tables, you've got little monitors coming out of the coffee table looking things that are displaying various like news channels and other such bits. You've got a main monitor on the bow end, on the fore end of the room. It's large enough that you can just kind of look over there, and you got a main display. On the aft end, that's where you've got 2 spiral staircases in the corners going up to the next floor, to the next deck up, as well as a wall plate glass window. And on the other side of the plate glass window, you see what looked to be more industrial style, more like truly naval style staircase, wide enough for 2 by 2 to go. So it's 4 abreast. If the three of you could walk down side by side, and you would still be fairly comfortable, even with the size of both Florian and Brody.
I am going to find a spot in the cargo hold to establish my shaman. Carry materials in a brown rucksack, which is underneath my poncho at all times, slung over my shoulder.
Well, you don't necessarily need to use the
No,
cargo
it's better
hold
if
for
I have
that.
privacy. Also, I like ladders, and cargo holds are pretty chill, because, like, you can just shut the hatch and it's dark in there. That's fucking sick.
Like ladders.
Very well. If you will excuse me for one moment. And then the sound kind of cuts out a little bit, and then suddenly this dwarf runs in. And he's got a chef coat on, and he's got a 9-inch chef knife in his hand. It's got some kind of blood in it
He's
already.
chasing Sebastian Crab around.
He's threatening.
Hey, I don't mean to be threatening, but look, I'm also the quartermaster around here. I have to lead this guy to what is going to be his new room. He insists on being in the cargo hold, then I gotta fucking put this guy in the cargo hold.
He likes ladders.
For those who don't know what a cargo hold on a real ship looks like, it's a big pit. It's like a big box with a lid over top of it. And if there's cargo in there, then the floor is higher, because you're just sitting on top of like whatever's in there.
And indeed, if you were to put 2 and 2 together in your head vis-a-vis the geography of this boat, you would realize that the cargo hold is directly underneath where you saw the
that's where they would have dropped the lid, and the lid
So
is a giant
it is
steel plate where you can land something.
And in fact, you can look, if you look straight up from the cargo hold, you can see like the girding underneath it to support the weight of both the landing pad itself and whatever lands on top of it. Kind of does this 45-degree angle, and it meets in the middle, but it doesn't quite meet in the middle. So the assumption is that this helipad actually opens up wide enough, and then whatever needs to be dropped into the cargo hold
by the crane
drops from overhead like that. You also notice that the stern seems to have one of those big, like, drop down ramp doors as well, so that you can start to reverse the boat onto something akin to a dock, and then you can just drop that door and it turns into a ramp so that you can drive vehicles into it. And since you're in the cargo hold, you also get to see another GMC Bulldog, an Ares Roadmaster, a Mitsubishi Night Sky, a Ford Americar kept in impeccable condition.
Our shipping crate, so it's like frames that you see on the back of the transport. They just kind of like parked.
They're parked, but they're secured as well. And so, I mean, obviously they're not going anywhere. They kind of got like, they look like the boots that they put on your car.
Some locks and slide around.
Right. Like they're basically just attached to the floor at this point. And as well, you see a flight of 4 Yamaha rapiers.
Those are motorcycles?
Yep.
John has one from Pink Falcon.
Okay, I'll just relay like
Hammer.
there's some real nice machinery down here. I don't know if you guys are gearheads. I don't personally drive, but might be happy if you.
Not much of a gearhead, but I'll head down.
So
You
we'll
can
say
just ask us to come check out your
true,
room.
too.
I'd like to see
I'm also setting up my shamanic lodge if you'd like to pay tribute to the owl, or at least.
Oh, one of my best friends was an
Really?
owl growing up.
What was his name? Maybe I know him. Screech!
Screech.
what an awesome name for an owl friend. Did you literally walk up to the guy and go, "Hey, you, what's your name?" Oh, your name's Screech.
Dustin
All right.
Yeah. I'm gonna find like a little corner of the cargo hold that's away from like a sunlight and things like that. I'm gonna establish my shamanic lodge, which is like a sheltered tent full of trinkets.
Your dwarf guy tries to lead you to. He basically leads you into the crew quarters area, where they have an extra room available. And he goes, "Well, I don't know why you need to be down here, but I'm not the one to ask any fucking questions." So, I suppose I can get you one. Look, I don't think you understand exactly who you're dealing with here, but if you need something done, he's going to let you get it done. All right.
Don't cause any problems, and you come to think of it, a friend that got bit by a spider in one of those cargo holds.
Look, the reason that the three of you are on this boat means that we're going on a mission, and that mission is a problem enough. So anything I can do to make your job easier, I will be doing. If you need me,
I'm gonna need an all vegan diet. I hope you pack lots of veggies.
I'll talk to the galley chef. I'm sure he can do something.
Sorry, your name again, Mr. Quartermaster? Say it yet?
Oh shit! I had the card with all these guys. Like I have everybody written down here somewhere. Here we go. All right. So your quartermaster, I believe he was going to be the prep cook and the physad. I believe I named him Ryback.
Feed me more.
Now I have an
He's a
instant
dwarf,
mental
so he's
image
tiny
of him
Ryback.
now. That's awesome. He's selling nutrition shakers and all kinds of stuff.
An energy drink.
Yeah.
Ryback's lightning bolt.
I'm ready to pass the time. I guess I'll drop my sustain spell because I don't know how long it'll take. Drop my sustain spell, set up in my lodge, do some meditation, pass the time until it moves or revives.
What are the rest of you doing?
I will follow the little chef guy.
The little chef.
Yeah.
So the three of you, since Brody was getting involved in the conversation there, I assume then that the three of you actually go down into the cargo hold and you see all of these goodies, right? Okay, so we will say that the vehicles are on the starboard side of the ship. So if you're facing the bow, it will be the right-hand side of the ship. Okay.
You said there's a GMC Bulldog in there?
Yep.
I'm gonna go and just fall asleep in the back of the van because that's familiar territory.
Hey, boss, what the fuck was the point of us trying to get the extra crew cover taken care of? We got one guy who wants to sleep down here next to the staircases and ladders, and then we got another guy who wants to sleep in the fucking Bulldog. What's going on here? Look, I pay you to ensure that this boat is ready for any contingencies. These two are part of those contingencies. So, if you would, please, Mr. Ryback, continue your duties.
Certain talents come with certain eccentricities. You have to get this through your head, man.
Yeah. Like all artists, very talented, a little bit of an asshole.
Ryback feels a poke on his shoulder and he turns around and Florian's
Bro.
looming over him.
You poke Ryback on the shoulder, that dude spins
he's got
and
a
draws
knife.
that 9-inch chef knife. He's like, what? What do you want? Jesus Christ, you're tall.
Calm
What
down.
are you trying to do, man? Don't you see the knife? This thing's almost as big as I am.
Calm down. I'm ready to enter my quarters.
Don't sneak up on a guy like that. All right, hang on. Follow me. I'll lead you to the normal people room. If you two don't mind, I guess I'll leave you down here with the rest of your eccentricities while I take the normal person, normal, to where he will be sleeping.
Ryback. Good night.
Whatever. And so this knife, he resheaths his chef knife, and Dwarf starts making his way back out of the cargo hold. He goes back to the main area right there, the kind of waiting room looking place that he had on the main deck. He goes to one of the spiral staircases, goes up one deck, and there you see basically the entire like guest quarters area. You have a similar setup in somewhat miniaturized, fractionized version. You have a couple of couches against the wall over here. You got a table with some more new stuff happening right there. If you were to sit on one of those couches, the main monitor would be overhead, either one corner or the other. And then there are a couple of nice chairs against the wall with this kind of alcove that happens right there, because this corridor begins to shrink a little bit in order to make private guest quarters for whoever would be in here. You count a grand total of 8 quarters, 4 one side, 4 the other, 4 on port side, 4 on the starboard side.
All right, I will go ahead and grab the furthest one from the entrance.
Okay, so what'll happen then is you had 2 staircases on the stern, and then they went up and they came out like in the middle of these 4 rooms, or these the 4 rooms on each side. And then one side was that kind of waiting area looking thing. That's on the stern side. And then on the port side is one more kind of staircase looking thing, like the more industrial staircase that leads up into the next deck up. And then you have 2 more entrances back outside to the outer side of the level 2 deck.
Wow. I'll take one of the rooms in the middle deck there.
Okay. So then you will
What's that face that Nick
what you are looking for. Probably I'm going to put you probably that would put you in the last room approaching the access to the upper level.
There you go.
So there you go. You just kind of do this little number here and you go, I'll take this one, and then open the door, and there you go. These things are actually surprisingly roomy. You remember how long this boat was, and yet you have enough space for 8 guest rooms. So when you walk in, you still have to kind of duck underneath the door because you're a 7'3" dude. But at the same time, once you get in, the place is nice. It's California Queen. You got your own bathroom. You got your own closet, so on and so forth.
So you're just gonna leave.
Well, I forgot about
No
Mitch.
worries.
Yeah, he'll pull his phone out. Mitch,
Yes.
it looks like we'll be residing here for a while. I need you to run interference, make sure my campaign
Make sure no one slings any mud that I can't sling back.
I will do what I can for you. No, do what I can for you, Mr. Oh, fuck. Forgot your name again. I'll do what I can for you, Mr. Florian. Mr. Flowers.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Blonde Flowers.
Mitch. I appreciate what you do.
I will keep you abreast of whatever changes may occur to your campaign and to your current operational list back at the office.
Thank you.
Well, since the guy's essentially your chief of staff as well, so there you go.
Yeah, he is. He does a lot.
He does that man's got a lot of hats. He's got a hat on a hat.
He's odd.
Yes, he does. Random task.
Who throws a shoe?
Who throws a shoe? Honestly.
Want to get. Guess we'll pass time until we're being summoned by someone to discuss something on the boat. Otherwise, socket.
Who drives the boat? Where's the captain?
The captain would have eventually introduced himself once y'all got settled into the second deck room where everybody was supposed to have their own rooms. But since everybody decided to fuck off and do their own things, goddamn weirdos, that is when you hear Charlie's voice over the Thubon PA system calling the crew to meet at the bow helipad where the VTOL plane was. And he also humbly requests your presence there as well. Oh yeah, it's probably about 2:30, 3 o'clock.
Bruce gonna show up. He found a
these
giant
guys
plastic cup full of Tang. So he's just like sipping a very loud cup of Tang.
Very nice. Rubio found the complimentary robe and is wearing that.
He's got a pipe for some reason. Where'd you get that? On my pillow.
It was already there.
I love the lore that you're writing for this thing. This is amazing. Although my one pushback on that is it kind of sounds like they expected y'all in one way or another to have all of your various like needs met. But the only way that would have worked is if, again, y'all had done what normal people do and taken good rooms.
I'm
but
humble
instead,
and independent.
Jesus. So I had everybody's staff written down already. Everybody's names. I can't remember what they were
too
anymore.
Much for me.
So
I want you guys to stand on the deck for 4 hours a night and contemplate the moon.
they've got their business. Right. They know what's going on. And besides, you kind of tell that whatever isn't automated is pretty easy to take care of on its own anyway. Between apparently Charlie having control over various aspects of Thubon on his end, as well as a talented and skilled and highly motivated crew who are capable of operating these things on their own as well. So you get out there and you meet a crew of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 4 of them are dressed like they just got out of the galley. One of which is Ryback, your phys-ad prep cook. You meet the captain, who is dressed not like a crew captain, but like a naval captain almost, but a little bit weathered. You meet the engineer, who looks like it looks like Jet from Cowboy Bebop.
Nice.
And then you meet your IT guy, who kind of reminds you a little bit of, if you played Watch Dogs 2, the guy with the mask.
Probably kind of pick.
Oh.
Like he doesn't have a full mask like he does, so you can still see his eyes, but the half mask that he has keeps shifting through various ASCII faces.
It's that kind of like the mask of the elements. Okay.
Yeah. And then you meet your security guy, who is dressed in an all black suit. We're talking like black tie on a black shirt under black blazer, black pants, and black shoes. Like the guy almost looks like Rude from Final Fantasy VII a little bit. Like he's squared away. And then you hear you hear Charlie introduce each of his staff one by one. They step forward. They, do their little like, hello, hey, how you doing? Hey, one of those, and pretty much, as he explains who each of these people are. Your captain is male. Your engineer is female. Or not your engineer. Your engineer is male. He's an orc. You've got a dwarf. You got a troll. You got an elf, and you've got a human on what appears to be just
like
culinary.
their own whole Star Trek TV series going on. They're just like guests on their show.
Oh yeah. You interrupted Star Trek Bridge Commander going on here. Like, bro, we were just in there playing Artemis, all right?
Weird. It's like that episode where they found the 3 frozen 21st century humans, and the guy's like, my stocks.
Yeah. The 51s, I believe that episode was called. Wow, I am a Star Trek nerd. Jesus. Your IT guy is actually a girl. She's a human. And your security guy is a troll girl as well.
Interesting.
And I hate to break it to you, Brody and Rubio, but the troll outsizes you by at least a foot, Brody.
It's a big troll. I'm all right.
A troll lady?
Yeah, she's an 8-footer. Or she's a 9-footer. She's almost the height of Tina Bonemeal.
You're almost as tall as my mother.
Wow.
And almost as beautiful.
I appreciate that, but I would appreciate it more if you kept that to yourself.
I cannot.
Wow.
I cannot.
I will not.
And with this really awkward conversation, trying as hard as it can to come to some sort of an end, Charlie comes back on the PA. Now that you have all gotten to know each other, I believe it is time that we set sail into mission. And so the crew breaks off. They go for they go for disembarkation stations, and then the 3 of you are left staring at a VTOL aircraft. Uh-oh. Lost my monitor there.
Oh, we still see you.
I got kind of a wibbly wobbly HDMI connection on this 15-year-old monitor I'm using here. So sometimes it's in, sometimes it's out. Most of the time it's in. That's why I've got my my AV stuff here for camera.
This is exciting. Going to Japan.
Going to Japan.
I'm stoked. I always wanted to go to Japan in Shadowrun.
I have seen an anime once, Choto Mate Kurosai.
Okay, so either Chotomate Kudasai is either a cutesy pastel shaded slice of life anime, or it is the bloodiest shit you've ever seen in your life.
The final episode of Evangelion.
Maybe both. Yeah, they're not exactly mutually exclusive anymore,
is,
are they?
Going through the human singularity or whatever it's called. I can't remember. But he actually briefly is in a slice of life anime for 5 minutes.
I have never seen Evangelion. Yeah. All the shitty things I've heard about Evangelion, I'm just nah, that ain't me.
I don't think there's anything. I mean,
so I'm told.
I know that it's an anime and there's some
Well, the good news is you remember that astral wall that you saw when you looked? It stays up. You can still see it, and then you pass through the bioluminescent lichen that you picked up to no effect. It just sails out. And if you were to look back at the wall that you just passed through with normal eyes, you would see a rock face.
Kong Island?
Whoa. Because that's what I would see.
That's almost Wakanda-esque.
A big, like, it's like finely carved stone face, like an Olmec face or something.
No, I guess it would be Kong Island then. I forgot that they actually spent some time carving the entrance of Wakanda in that mountainside, didn't they? Because I remember him looked like he was
the Kong
gonna
Island
fly
is
through
like
some
looks like a
grass and
skull, but it
trees.
also seems like a natural formation. It's like, how'd they do that?
It's like the one that's the elephant that's in like Thailand.
Oh yeah. I love Thailand. It's like logical. It's like it's carved into the side of a map. Might be an Indian.
Yeah, it's so fucking cool.
So while you're on the ship, you are again left to your own devices.
Okay. I guess I want to actually. I'm feeling some static with the alderman, so I'm gonna be like, Florian. So how do you feel about the mission? What's your plan of action? I think I'm seeing us getting there. We're gonna get to like the Osaka sort of marine space, and then we're gonna fly in and we're gonna land somewhere. What's our next plan? I mean, do you want to do this? Do you want to just arrive as yourself and just end the party?
Maybe it would be best to use
subterfuge or an alias.
Yes, an alias would be best, I think.
Where are you having this conversation?
I guess I would go up to his quarters because I feel like he's just kind of isolating himself from us because he's like, I do not trust these ruffians.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm sitting there.
I may have got Brody
crisscross apple sauce on my
Brody by the ear as he's like trying to flirt with some like dwarven midship wife, and be like, "Come on, we gotta go talk to Florian."
I would have just followed the giant troll lady, and I'm just talking her ear off. Just a non-stop verbal stream of conscious Jim Varney, flow of just like nonsense. Yeah.
So you follow her through the ground floor, the first deck. You follow her up the stairs to the second deck, where all the guest residential area is.
He's like, my favorite things about stairs is that they're all the same, rise over run, as you would build them.
She hits that large, like 4 abreast industrial kind of stairwell on the other side. It's separated by sliding glass double doors. She scans her badge. It opens without even looking at you. She walks through the doors, and then just as you try to walk through, actually, give me a quickness check.
I can do that.
He's very quick.
Be quick to catch a squirrel.
Pretty quick.
I mean, he's only so quick. He is a
I
troll.
kind of want to see your character sheet again, because just in case you got some skills.
Athletics.
You do have athletics, but this isn't so much a wearing yourself out thing. This is a quick.
What's the target number?
Give you a target number 6.
1 success.
Wow, you are actually able to follow her as she walks through the double doors. They start to close, and you do that number where you just turn sideways and kind of duck underneath because
he's liquid. He's tapping into his drunken boxing a little bit here. He's been getting loose while he's walking with her. He's taking sips of that Everclear that he took from the bar.
Like, she's kind of had to duck down underneath those doors because 9-footer, and so she does this number like she's walking under a crime scene or passing through the cables in a turnbuckle, on a wrestling match. She kind of does that number. And then you kind of do something similar as you slide in as the doors close on you like Indiana Jones, and you just barely clear the glass when the doors shut behind you. And she begins to walk upstairs. And I'm assuming you're still following her.
Just walking, just yammering, trying to be
in that
charming.
Case, then I would have let him.
So.
Element later.
So your this stairwell ends and then kind of splits up as it 180s and keeps going higher up.
What does this chick do? She just endlessly walks around the ship,
Follows
or
her
is she like?
NPC pathing.
I mean, you're following her. You don't have a fucking clue where she's going.
All right.
So she's walking, and she has no response to any of the things that you're saying, despite the fact that you're talking her ear off. And then when she gets up to the top, I mean, you can actually see that when it does that break off, you've got one that goes straight out. And they kind of, when you look around the corner, you see that there are double doors that open up again outside to the area above guest quarters. And then you've got one more little bit right there that goes up as well.
Ship is a
And then
labyrinth.
pretty much when you go up those other stairs, they kind of meet up again about 10 feet up and meet up on a flat floor as she walks up those stairs, walks up the floor, and then there's one more set of doors. This one is steel, and it's only one door. It looks like a submarine porthole or submarine port door. And so she scans her badge into that. The port opens, and give me another quickness test if you insist on following her. Which, judging on the fact that you're about to roll a die again, it looks to me as though you are insistent.
Oh, no, sir. Not this time.
So
Locked out.
she doesn't even look over her shoulder as the door shuts.
Damn.
And
So just mid sentence, he'll just face plant right into the bulkhead.
I imagine the door kind of going, kind of smushing your face a little bit. This is kind of uncomfortable here.
And then he'll like stop and like turn, and there's like a map on the side of the ship that says "You are here," and then he'll find like where that says like guest or crew quarters or whatever, and then he'll start making his way towards that.
Unfortunately, there is no "You are here" map, and
well, now I'm lost.
And that is also because Charlie pops in over the PA in just this one room, and he goes, "Mr. Brodius, you realize you are in a restricted section of this boat."
Well, if it's restricted, then how come I'm here?
Got a good point.
Again, your skills are quite impressive, but unfortunately, that still does not give you any access to these upper levels. So, if you don't mind, and then you hear downstairs the glass doors open again. If you don't mind, I will ask that you please stay in your accessible grounds, please.
I guess I do tend to wander. I also sleepwalk, so I'm pretty quick.
Trying to cover all his bases for
I
accidents.
saw that.
I've ended up in a bank vault one time, and I don't know how I got there.
Mr. Brodius, if you would please show yourself out. You hear the doors kind of slide a little bit, constantly making noise to remind you, hey, here are the doors, and you need to be walking through them.
Are there, if there's any other paths away from the doors, he'll take them. But if there's just a one shot, he'll go to the door.
You've
checking all the doors on the way, just grabbing door handles.
You got the double doors that lead back outside. You're basically standing on the roof of the crew quarters.
Oh yeah, he'll have a Titanic moment
as you walk to the stern of the ship, kinda like it really does go the length of the main section of this boat here.
No, he'll just make his way back down to the crew quarters, or try to get out of this area and go meet up with the rest of the gang.
And this is where you see again a nice like meeting area for outdoor stuff. All the seating here is nice, but also designed to withstand the rigors of naval travel outside. So everything's kind of bolted down a little bit. Everything's kind of attached to everything else. Doesn't seem like it's going anywhere. But yeah, it's a nice looking place.
Classy joint.
Thank you for joining us, Brodius.
Oh, he's outside, and he's also above you.
Oh, is he?
Yeah.
Just reach through the fucking ceiling and grab him by his foot.
Give me that
Pull his
strength
ass
test,
in.
baby. I want to see this.
This is such a big map for just like this, like a hub map in a video game that's like way too big. Where are you guys right now? Okay.
This is the kind of map I would be totally fucking lost in a video game. I'd be
Let me
playing
get a target
PsyOps.
number. Oh, I didn't give you a target number. Target number 8.
Oh shit! All right.
I mean, bro, I've seen your strength stat.
You actually trying to just punch through the ceiling?
Apparently, I
Rolled one?
glitched.
No, you only rolled one die.
So,
You rolled your body.
Did I only roll one? Oh, god damn it!
no, it was a strength test.
Sorry.
So you just roll raw strength.
Strength.
Okay, here we go. My strength.
Strength. Well, okay. Let's see what you got. You got 3 1s out of 8 dice.
No, he didn't. No,
That's a glitch.
Second edition has to be all ones
Yeah.
to glitch. I know in 5th edition, like it's a critical.
So you can kind of hear Brody kind of mumbling to himself.
Do I
just
feel
outside.
the floor underneath me?
It kind of like how you're making too much noise in your apartment, so your downstairs neighbor takes the broom and goes, kung, kung, kung. Hey, keep it down out there. So
He's gonna slam
like,
his foot onto the deck floor below him in a return call.
well, unfortunately, you're only doing it for your self-edification because Rubio has no knowledge of what you just did.
I hear
I mean,
nothing.
I have a 10 strength. Can I? What if my foot smashes through?
Oh, would you like to make a strength test for that?
Yeah.
What is?
Okay,
Backward.
let's
hold
make
on.
that strength test.
It's like a steel
Again,
barrier.
target number 8.
Is it?
We're both
You
stupid.
can
It's a
make, like,
steel fucking barrier,
unarmed
bro. That's why the
damage-
target number's
whatever
8.
Your unarmed damages, and then
And
Hang
you're
on,
gonna put a hole in another man's property like this,
I
bro.
got a 1 success.
One
maybe it
success.
he weakened by
How many-
Florian's punch. You know.
You got 3 glitches out of 4, 8, 10 dice.
Suddenly, Brew doesn't look so crazy.
so-
Around here, huh? Yeah. Maybe he's looking like the smart one all of a sudden.
You don't quite put your foot through the roof, but you do leave a pretty sizable dent that is even noticeable in Rubio's ceiling.
That is a big foot.
Rubio looks up at it.
Ow! Goddamn, that hurt.
I got
I
heel
shouldn't have done
bruises.
that barefoot.
Heel
My
bruise.
bunions are. My dogs are barking.
Okay, so I really did want to
The-
talk to Florian about the plan.
Okay.
So, he's saying you might need a disguise and a persona to enter the party. Or it's not necessarily a party, it is like a hostile takeover situation. So, usually in like Zaibatsu culture, I believe, hold these kind of things in like restaurants or bars or hostess like some sort of like service location. They don't do it in like an actual office. They would do this at like a service location.
Yep.
So it's possible we could just like try to get in and sit down and eat somewhere, and then try to eavesdrop on there and just see what 2 characters like it's something Callus, Derek Callus.
I
Eric
don't think it was
Callus,
Derek
the elf
Callus.
in his actual Ethan
Ethan.
Callus,
It was
and his
Ethan
alias
Callus.
is what?
Ethan.
Mercutio.
Mercutio.
What was the intel we were given? Mercutio wants this deal to go through, or no?
What he Charlie was a little vague because he wasn't entirely sure which direction you were going to go. He imagines it's early, like it's late enough in the night / early enough in the morning that he's going to let you guys get some sleep while the boat is en route to Osaka. And then when we wake up refreshed the next morning, you will get together
detailed
in one of the
intel
lower
package.
decks. Right. I mean, you'll have a detailed info package on that.
Just to pass the time. So do you want to figure out how to get a fucking disguise going? Someone's got to have an eye patch around here. Let's just go borrow someone's eye patch. Let's get the captain's pea coat. You look good in a pea coat. You're pretty tall.
He has a boat cloak.
We are already unknown quantities to these people. The disguise might not be required.
I mean,
just basically, we need
Brody
to
said he sat on your
in.
face at a bus. I mean,
my district is not in Japan.
it would be called the prefecture.
I would think all we would need is. Oh, thank you for the correction.
Join the Japanese.
I'm so used to people correcting me.
So what are we gonna do, guys? Pass the time until we get to Osaka. Anyone want to have any other thing they want to do?
I mean, it is like almost 3 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah,
So,
I've explored everywhere I need to explore. I'll look in all the bathroom cabinets.
You're fully exploring.
They're all laid out the same. They got it's like a hotel bathroom. They got the little
I'll just look
little
for the
bottles of
layout
whatever.
the map, which should be printed in every floor of this boat.
Yeah, the maps stop on the other side of those glass double doors, like I said earlier. And the only thing you need, well, I mean, you can see that they're there, so they don't necessarily hide that they're there. But
like
what is actually happening up there?
Type of.
Yeah,
They're doing some kind of experiments up there. I could feel it. We were feeling it in my bones.
I mean, spoiler alert! It's crew quarters. Yeah, it's crew quarters up there, armory, and then the next floor up is the CIC. So.
Disembodied voice, can I drive the boat?
Mr. Brodius, that should be a very obvious negative.
What if I acquire a skill in boat driving?
You would need a significant amount of skill for me to even consider allowing you to see the inside of this bridge.
Well, you've already said that I do have a tremendous amount of skill.
Do you have that particular tremendous amount of skill in piloting large sea craft?
No, but I'm skilled elsewhere that might be applicable. I have driven a boat once. I was in a kayak accident, but it ended badly. Not for me, for someone else. I was riding.
Clearly, Thuban is a kayak. I can clearly trust
accident
you.
And
a catamaran. Or catamaran.
Just thinking like you're riding a cat. You're huge, right? So you're in your kayak. Your kayak flips, and you hit a scuba diver in the head underwater and knock him out.
That'd be awesome.
So.
All right.
Okay. Well, it's 10 o'clock local. This is a good stopping off point. Because when we start up tomorrow, I can give you a rundown of what we're doing in Osaka.
It's only 8 o'clock for me, Nick, and Mac.
Well, it's fucking 10 o'clock for me, man.
We're all West Coast.
I thought it was an Among Us.
West Side.
Yeah, we could call it here. I lost a leg to my chair, so I've been.
What the fuck?
I was wondering why suddenly we got an extreme close-up over here.
It sounded like your own leg was cut off by the chair.
I lost the
leg
of my
chair, as in he was doing battle with it.
Oh.
The chair took my leg.
The chair took my leg.
Okay, so yeah, thanks for hanging out if you were here tonight, and we're gonna call it. Next time,
thank you guys.
We should have a lot more action.
We'll have a lot more action.
Hey, might be a lot more action, but I don't know if it's going to be that much more comedy. And This was a fucking
With some
episode.
laughs. With some laughs. Take care, everyone. Good night.